Dollar. Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight up.
Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Ravens and the Commanders, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions, the Washington Commanders. The hype and the talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone.
Devin Duvernay on the return. The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Throwing is Jackson. Being chased out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Montez Sweat. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. The defense has always talked about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy that has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Play action. It's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one. And let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. You look at this Super Bowl, the second appearance for this head coach. The first one did not go as planned, as we all know. But what do you think he's learned from that first go-around?
He learned how much it hurts to lose, and that's what you hear from coaches so often. They don't remember the wins as much as they remember the losses. You can talk about the media, the scrutiny, the hoopla, but once you've had to shake a head coach's hand and jog off the field and know you have to face the media, face your fans, face your home life, knowing that you've lost the Super Bowl, that hurts big time, and you're going to do everything possible to try and prevent that from happening again.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was ball's always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football.
And he fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Throw left side, complete. That's Andrews. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line? Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Gibson again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. A give up the middle to Gibson. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll try the left side with Gibson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
67 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Straight ahead, Gibson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson from 4 yards out. And the Commanders continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Wins the throw complete there to Thomas. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play, and the chains move. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
Here's a give to Gibson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Jackson now. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Slide for the PAT. And the lead is now 24. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Duvernay now going to bring it out.
Kevin Duvernay on the return. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. The 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a play fake. Wentz. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Wentz.
Able to connect with Dotson. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Throwing is Wentz. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
It's now third down and 14.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on third. Wentz going to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington.
I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Offense set at the line for this next drive.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
Hey, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl A 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Jackson on first down. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson. When you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen in his receiver.
And this is going to be intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Commanders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll go again with Gibson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. A handoff for Gibson. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the...
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Throwing on first is Wentz. And this is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
3rd quarter action in Super Bowl 57. Here's a 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. The partner is still in the 3rd quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the 4th quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's a good piece of quarterbacking right there, because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wentz. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, still throwing here with a big 3rd quarter lead. But that time, his defense gets a measure of revenge.
One of the few positive moments they've had on either side of the football, really. Things have definitely not gone their way. But maybe their offense can seize on this and put some points on the board.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
He's going to be out on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Forced out to his left. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
They go play action now. Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down. From the gun, Jackson. And now here is another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Justin Matabike there to bring him down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. They'll run with Gibson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman from 6 yards away. And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he's got it as the score is now 31-7.
kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off.
And they'll send the slot in motion left.
On second down, here's Gibson again.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
In motion comes the tight end left.
Once more, Gibson.
And some room to maneuver. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
94 yards rushing for him now. A big part, no doubt, of why they lead in this Super Bowl. A handoff running left is Gibson. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's Gibson.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Now Wentz. And he finds McLaurin. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Now Joey Sly for the point after.
And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover. They want to try and put points on the board.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. The ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And he fumbled it.
It's on the ground. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Slings this deep from McLaurin. This is intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Open man downfield is Duvernay. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Well, they did it. The Washington Commanders, Super Bowl champions. And this storied franchise will once again possess the Lombardi Trophy.